I'm about to create a website for 13 cents. In fact, the only 13 cents it's going to cost to build the website, I'm going to be using Claude Code, Claude AI, to be able to actually code it for me. But when you register for Claude AI, you basically get $5 in free credits. So effectively, the website's going to be free. This is a world-class website where people would pay anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to get this website. It looks absolutely magnificent. And I'm going to basically walk through all the different process and procedures we need to be able to create it. Again, super simple. But before we begin, there are basically a few things that we want to, well, three things we want to understand. We need an IDE. An IDE is basically an integrated development environment. That basically just means a place where we could go and type in our code. Remember, you're not going to type in any code. AI is going to do literally everything for you. And if there's any errors or anything like that, it'll fix the errors for you automatically. So again, you do nothing. Okay, step one. What is an IDE? Basically, how do we begin using an IDE? All you would have to do, there are a lot of different kinds of IDE. The one I've been using lately is called Anti-Gravity, which is created by Google. And what you would do, you Google Anti-Gravity, click on download, and then download whatever computer you're using. I'm using this one, Apple Silicon, and then follow the steps to be able to have it downloaded on your computer. Once you have it downloaded on your computer, it looks something like this. So let it pop up, and here it is. I've already downloaded Claude, but I'm gonna actually redo this, and I'm gonna type in, I'm gonna start from the beginning again. So, okay, I'm gonna click on open folder, right? And I'm gonna call this YouTube demo dentist because I'm gonna create a dentist website. Okay, so basically I have a folder on my computer that basically I'm gonna be installing all my code onto. Once you download this IDE, what you want to do, and by the way, you would just log in with your Gmail account on this IDE, but I don't necessarily want to use Google's Gemini. I want to use my own Claude. The way we use our own Claude is we click on these little, we got to go to the marketplace and download the extension. On the left-hand side, you should see 4 boxes, right? And 4 boxes, when you got to search the extension in the marketplace, it's just called Claude, right? Or Claude Code for VS Code. And then you would follow the prompts to be able to download it. And also I'll mention something very important. Just make sure the publisher is Anthropic. Anthropic is the parent company, and then the product that they have is basically Claude Code. So once you have this, you will see this little logo over here, right, to open Claude Code so you can start communicating with it. Once this is open, you basically exit the agent that's on the right-hand side, get rid of it, get rid of the center little thing, and now you don't need to be on the extensions tab. Just click on your files, and then you have your Claude Code open, and you have your files. Okay, this is all you really need. You need nothing else. But at a super high level, I'll walk through the other 2 things that we just need to, again, high level understand, then we can move forward. So IDE, we basically have that covered. We understand what it is and why it's important. The next thing we need is somewhere to store our code, and the product or the software we're going to use is a software called GitHub. GitHub, all it is once we type in our code on this code platform, IDE, we're going to need to store it somewhere. That's going to be GitHub. Once we store it on GitHub, we need the world to see our actual code and see what it looks like. We're going to use a server, and the server we're going to use is called Vercel. Again, all this stuff is free. It doesn't cost you a penny to be able to use, run, nothing. One thing I will mention, when you download Claude, right? Go to platform.claude.com and just, sign in regularly, and then you're going to get $5 worth of free credits. That's really it. You effectively need nothing else, right? And when you sign in with your email account, Claude will also have you sign in with that same email account on Anti-Gravity, and then it'll automatically connect it. You basically have to do nothing, except for obviously connect it. Okay, so, all right. We have our place where we code. We have a place where we store our code. And then we have a place where we upload our code so the entire world could see it. All right. So what do we have to type in here? So I want to type in something like, I'm a dentist. Create me a website. I'm based in Las Vegas. That's it. Well, actually, before we press enter, I want you to use this repo. Now, as far as like the parameters, how you want it to look and all the different things, if you effectively just type this into Claude, right? I'm a dentist, create me a website. I'm based in Las Vegas. It'll do its best to create a website and you'll get a pretty good product, probably a product that's worth about $1,500, $2,000. Now, keep in mind, I used to build and sell websites back in the day, and $2,000 for a very basic website. But what I'm showing you here is easily $5,000. It's amazing. But we want to give it some parameters. So I was watching a video the other day from a gentleman by the name of Nicholas, and he basically used this repo to be able to, use this repo. So this repo gives the AI parameters on how to code the website. All you would do, you click on the repo. It's called github.com/Leon XLNX /taste skills. In fact, you can even Google this. You'll be able to see it. Download it. And then what you would do is, I want you to use this repo. And then literally all you would do is just press enter and it'll start coding it for you. Now, the thing is this. This will probably take about 5 minutes, right? And then just click on next, next, next. And then, it'll have words like working, ideating, baking, a whole bunch of different words, thinking, hatching. All that means is just working through whatever code that it needs to work through. And it's using our repo, which is, this gentleman's, Leon's repo, to be able to really understand how to code the website effectively. So while it's doing this, let's go back over here and let's just create our GitHub account and let's create our Vercel account, right? So we're going to go on GitHub, and by the way, GitHub will look something like this. When you go on GitHub, you type in sign up now, and then you would just sign up for GitHub. Just normally. I already have an account, so I'm not going to do that. And once you have it, you want to, on the left-hand side, you should see something that says new. So let's create a new repository. And what we're going to call it, Dentist YouTube Demo. That's what we're going to call the repository. Scroll down. You can make it private if you want. Just keep it on public though. Then you would just click on create repository. Once you click on create repository, you basically get this instructions on how to connect, basically how to upload this code that you're going to be putting over here into this repository, because we need a repository, then we're going to push it onto our server. But we don't need to even know any of this. All we have to do is go to Claude, copy this, or you could even press Control-A, copy this entire thing. It'll automatically do it for you. That's how ridiculously good it is. Because back in the day, you would have to initialize, then add README if you want. You don't have to add that. Then you have to commit. Then you have to add, the main branch and all the different things. You don't need that. You just copy and paste this, and you're basically done. But we can't do that right now because the AI is still thinking of how to create the website. And it's probably another couple minutes out. So while we do this, so we have a repository. It's called Dentist YouTube Demo. And I'm going to go to my server. Again, you just create an account. And what that'll basically look like is this. Come over here, start deploying, and then you would just continue with GitHub, or basically whatever you want effectively, right? GitHub's going to be the easiest because we're going to use our GitHub storage account and connect it to our server account and basically just run wild with it. So I already have an account, so I'm not going to do all that. So here's what my account looks like. I'm going to click on add new project, and then boom, all we got to do is just click on import, and we're basically click on deploy, and we're basically done. But we're not going to do that just yet because we haven't pushed anything. That's the term that we're using. Pushed anything to our storage spot, to our GitHub repository. All right, just click on next. And this might take another couple minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pause and then I'll come back. Okay, that took eternity, but it is done. It took about 5 full minutes in total. And basically, now let's just take a look at what it looks like. So all we would have to do is go over here and click on index.html. Actually, it's not even on index.html. Let's go to live server, see what the website looks like. Boom. And that is pretty freaking incredible. Wow. My goodness. My. That's absolutely incredible. Wow. I bet you this is one of the best websites in the market. Dentist Las Vegas. Let's just Google, see what else we got. Imagine everybody's website looks the same. This is not a bad website. There's too much going on though. Oh yeah, there's way too much going on. That's crazy. All right, let's just refresh again. Yeah, then you look at this website, which is ranking number 1. Good for them. And then you look at this website. This is way better. And it took me 14 cents to do it. In fact, let's just take a look how much it did cost me to do it. I've been messing around with this quite a bit today. When I say that, I mean like another 30 cents probably. Okay, so today I spent 31 cents in total, but I already used a lot of it. How do I find out? Actually, I wouldn't know. But it probably like less than that. Probably like literally probably like 14 cents. Because I ran this a lot. As of today. Just go. Anyway, it doesn't break it down for me. That's okay. I'm sure it does somewhere. But okay, so anyways, that is amazing. I'm super happy with that. And I still have $5. I still have $2 of my $5 credit that I could use. Couldn't be happier. Amazing. Okay, so anyways, all right, moving on. There you go. Website is done. So now I want to, it's only on my local host right now, but I want to see it actually what it looks like when it's published. So now I want to put it on GitHub, right? Remember, that's the middle thing we were talking about. So we have an IDE. The website is done here. I mean, you could edit it. So all you would have to do is, let's just say you want to update it, right? Let's just say, I don't know. I'm open from, let's just change the phone number. You could literally say, hey, you made a mistake, even though it technically didn't. My actual number is boom, 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 boom. Now watch it, update it, combobulating, imagining, and let's give it another. There you go. It edited the code automatically. Isn't that wild? It edited the code automatically. Even the href tag. Href tag is just basically like the things that you would click and then it would just automatically make in the dial if you use your phone. Updated all 3. So now what we'd have to do, look how crazy that is. It updated it. This blows my mind. And it updated it everywhere. Holy smoke. And you go click it and actually dial the number. If you look in the bottom left corner, you can actually see that if you click it, you can actually dial this number. But I'm using a desktop, so it's not going to do that. But if you're using a phone, it would totally do that. So, okay, so now, well, only I could see this. People on the internet can't see this. So how do I make people on the internet see this? Okay, so now I want to push this to GitHub. That's it. And then what it would look like is I'd go over here. I'd copy this. I don't even have to give it all this instruction. I'm sure I could just delete this, copy this, and send it. And it'll automatically start germinating, deliberating, figuring out, okay, what is this? It's saying, do you want to initialize or boom, boom, boom. It has 2. Okay, what does that say? That's okay, whatever, no big deal. Okay, what do you prefer? SSH. Because I've done it, done SSH before. But you could literally say, I don't know what SSH is. I've already done it before, so I'm not going to do that. But it literally walk you through. I'm like, I don't understand what that is. Can you explain to me what to do next? And it'll actually fix it for you. What I'm hoping for is I get an error when I try to publish it online, because when you have an error, it will automatically work backwards, run the demo on its own and say, oh, I found the error and I fixed it and I pushed it into GitHub. That's it. So now if we refresh this, we should see our website. Perfect. Okay, so our website is actually empty. Thanks. But the GitHub repo is empty. What's going on? And that's going to think, okay, right, only the README, look at that. Only the README file was committed. That's exactly right. Only the README file was committed. But I want the entire code on here so I can push it onto Vercel, which again is our server, by us clicking on, import our GitHub repository into the server. So we're gonna go back and then it's gonna figure out what's happening. So it's adding the different JSON files. We need git ignore. And first to exclude blah, blah. We don't even need to know what that is. That the node modules basically just has a whole bunch of code on it that we don't need to push up because it's just too big, right? And it's automatically adding its notes. Hey, add dentist website, blah, blah. Okay, all your 20 files are now on GitHub. Your repo is this. So let's go back here. Let's refresh. Bam. Our website is done. Updated now. So now what we want to do is add a project, import it. Dentist YouTube demo. Click on deploy. And now let's see what we have. Okay, so it might take a minute. What I'm hoping for is to get an error. Because if I get an error, all I come down here and say, hey, I got an error. It's not showing up. And then just copy what the error is. Perfect. What a blessing. We do have an error. Okay. Now, normally a developer would basically go in, he would go to the dashboard, he would look at the logs, and he'd try to figure out what's going on. Well, we should have logs there. Oh, no, we'd have to click on logs, right? Then he would basically figure out what went wrong with the deployment. There you go, something like this, right? And then all I'm going to say is, I got this. Oh, God damn it. Not that, sorry. All I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to go over here. I'm just going to copy paste this. I'm going to say, I got this. What happened? Percolating. And it's thinking. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now it's saying, okay, that's a Vercel 404 error, not a GitHub issue. Your code on GitHub is fine. Perfect. Vercel can't find the next.js app because it's in a subdirectory instead of the repo root. I can literally say, what does that mean? I'm not going to say all that though. Go to the project, boom, boom, boom. Now it's redeployed. Vercel needs to know that boom, 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 not the repo. The redeploy is corrected. So now we should be able to refresh. Okay, so let's just go over here. We got to wait a second. Right? So it's because it was created 2 minutes ago. It should say now. Okay, so again, it's going to take a minute. So let's go over here. This was done 2 minutes ago. It should say now. Is it pushed? Yes, you can verify. Boom, boom, boom. Refresh. 2 minutes ago. Let's go back over here. Let's refresh. Right? Let's visit the website. Still getting the same error. Right, let's just wait a second. Okay, so these are only two links we're going to be playing off of, which is going to be GitHub, and this is going to be Vercel. Basically, it's pushing committed. It's pushed now. Okay, so everything should be redeployed. So anytime there's any update on GitHub, it automatically pushes over to Vercel. And now let's see what we have here. 2 commits should say 3 commits. Perfect. Okay, so now theoretically, we don't have to redeploy. It automatically does it. Updated 3 minutes ago. It hasn't done it yet. Oh, sorry, 1 second. It's still building. Just give it a minute. Okay, now it's done. And basically what I did was I just went back and forth, 4 or 5 times, and it kept giving me errors. All I did was I went over here, it said, I opened this up and I just typed in Command A. I copied the entire thing. I pasted it into Claude and I said, hey, this is the error. Please fix. It just went in and kept fixing it every time. And it just got better and better, or at least smarter and smarter. So anyways, now if we click on our website, boom, here's what it looks like. You know, this is absolutely incredible. And, you know, we could obviously fix a lot of this stuff, right? I'm not going to do that just for the sake of the video, but this is phenomenal. Beautiful, gorgeous website. You know, if we look this way, it looks phenomenal, right? On mobile, and we can even make it more mobile optimized. Like even this stuff, we can make it totally mobile optimized. All we would have to say, make this mobile optimized. I'm not gonna do that because it'll take forever. But anyways, here's the video. Awesome. Thanks for watching.